So, does anyone care to touch on this further?
You know, this is something that's very politically incorrect and will be, a lot of people will find this to be upsetting, but I tell you, the things that are happening in our nation, it is a doctrine of the devil. It's not just people with a different opinion. It's not just some people have a different take on things. It is literally doctrines of the devil.
My name is Jerry. I left MAGA, and today I'm going to start another project showing sources of where some of this transphobia and homophobia comes from within the MAGA movement, above and beyond anything scriptural. I have, and the reason this is going to be multi-part is because I put a whole bunch into a playlist to work from. When I went and looked, there was like 28 videos, and I'm like, I can't do all these. So we're going to do them like 10 at a time. I think that'll be easily enough consumed batches. So here we got Mr. Jack Hibbs. Got a profile working in the background for him. But let's see what he's got to say. Jack Hibbs' odd argument against providing protection for transgender students.
Every boy is going to try to sneak a peek.
Yeah.
Now,
I was a prankster. So.
Yeah, so according to what's happening in California, our governor has given kids the permission to go do that. Now, let's say this happens. The kid goes in there, self-determination, and even if he is confused, he goes in there, self-determination, or a kid's pulling a stunt.
Right.
Goes in there and takes a look. What happens when that kid comes out and word spreads around campus that Jack or Johnny or Freddie went in there? It's my opinion, having lived through my generation, there's going to be young men that are going to target that kid and really, really lay it on him. It's going to make bullying worse.
Yes.
And yet our governor has sanctioned it. Here's my question to you. That's going to happen.
It will.
Who will be responsible? Will Jerry Brown be responsible for this kid getting beat up? Will it be the principal? Who's going to pay the price for kids who beat this kid up? And you can't find the kids. It wasn't caught on tape. We don't know who they are, but the kid's got his teeth knocked out. He's in the hospital. Who's responsible?
How about culture as a whole being responsible? That would be at the core of transformative justice. What in this environment enabled that individual to get beat up? Now, no, this is from 2014, so a dozen years ago. In fact, Right Wing Watch posted this March 3rd, 2014, so just over 12 years ago. I've got all these links tucked away in a playlist that I have included in the description. So let's move right along. Oh, we got good old Huckabee from back in 2015. Now this would be Sarah Huckabee Sanders' daddy, and our current ambassador to Israel, former governor to the state of Arkansas. You may know who he is.
Jeb Bush has said that he is fine with transgender soldiers so long as it does not affect morale. Do you agree?
It's naive to think that it doesn't affect morale. Men are men, women are women. There's a distinction, there's a difference. The military should understand that and should respond to that. The military is not a social organization. The military is not a place where we try out experiments. The military is designed to kill people and break things. The purpose.
I worked for the Air Force Weapons Lab as a supply guy. We were doing research and development of advanced weapons. The system, the military system, is always trying to improve lethality. They're always experimenting with things. Yeah, he's right about killing people and breaking stuff. That is at the heart of the operation, but that's not how you get there. There's you get bigger bombs by doing anyway.
The military is to train a fighting force to defend this country and to fight our battles. It's not to fight the battles of sexual identity or orientation. It's to fight the battles that threaten American sovereignty and American freedom. So,
Well, that's an interesting take. I'm just going to leave him alone with that. Like I said, like I'm always saying, the links are in the description below. You can go and sit through the whole thing if you want to. But I happen to know that individuals who are happy with who they are and happy with how they're built and have friends that are supportive of them, they're more likely to be genuinely happy than individuals who, for some reason, are feeling they have to or forced by beatings that they have to comply with whatever the social standard is. Let's see, who do I have up next? Because all these clips, I do believe. No, no, wait, no. I have I have one clip that is not from Right Wing Watch. We'll get there. I'm gonna work up. I've already anyway. We'll get there. So in this clip, we got Alex Jones claims transgender rights activism is really about cyborgs. What? All right, Alex, tell us all about
Really important. And I know the last few days I said I would get to what the whole trans movement's about. And why if you say tranny, Facebook, Twitter, you name it, says they will ban you. I mean, we've had executives from Facebook and Twitter call here, and it's official executives and say, we don't want to ban you, but you can't use that word
it. I don't think they got a phone call.
above all other words. And I'm going to explain it, what's behind it. It's not the people, that men that want to be women or women that want to be men. It has nothing to do with that. It has to do with something bigger.
Oh,
The most
I mean, never mind.
protected class are going to be augmented humans, cyborgs, you name it.
Oh, he's heading into a transhumanist conspiracy theory. All right, I'm just going to walk away from that. If you want to grab the full 3.5 minutes of it, go right ahead. 43 seconds in, I see where he's going. Transhumanism, he's othering. Let's see, what do we have here? Oh, yeah, Pat Robertson, satanic transgender rights being jammed down our throats. Meanwhile, he's sending people out to beat other people over the head with the Bible.
Pat?
You know, if I've ever heard of a made up charge, this whole thing is a tempest in the teapot. It's crazy. Less than 1%, a tiny fraction of 1%, are so-called transgenders. Well, okay, let them have an operation, let them take the hormone pills, let them take whatever they want to take, and switch. Good. I'm all for it. There's nothing wrong with that. No sin, nothing. But why do we make it a big cause célèbre? Why do we fight about it? Why does the Justice Department get involved? Why does the federal government come?
Because there's some people that will go out and beat them down. Because there's some people out that will go out and kill them. This is why we need laws to protect fellow humans, especially marginalized and minority groups. All right. So yet again, Pat Robertson proves himself to be dumb. All right. Andrew Womack. Now, I did a video yesterday with Andrew Womack interacting on a couple of occasions with David Barton, the guy who's in charge apparently of the government mountain of the Southern Mountains Mandate. Anyway, Lance Wallnau. There's a connection there. I hope you brought your index cards and your thumbtacks and your yarn. I hope you're keeping those handy. And of course, like I always say, I leave the disclaimers in place because they have a purpose.
You know, this is something that's very politically incorrect and will be, a lot of people will find this to be upsetting, but I tell you, the things that are happening in our nation, it is a doctrine of the devil. It's not just people with a different opinion. It's not just some people have a different take on things. It is literally doctrines of the devil. They are taking children as young as 4 and 5 years old and telling them that you were born in the wrong body. You're actually a woman in a man's body, or a...
Oh my goodness. See, this is the same BS that my dad so thoroughly believes in. Uh, All right, moving along. All right, so this this was posted. What is that? June 20th, 2023. This lad Sad Chuck. I'll work up a profile on him, but that's also Jonathan Kahn. Now I've worked up a profile on Rabbi Jonathan Kahn already. Or did I say already twice? Anyway, let's just check out these two characters.
One of the signs, it was called Stonewall, and this was a riot where they basically, it was a same-sex bar and the police raided it and the people tried to storm it with the police in there. They actually set it on fire with the police in there. They tried to do it, and they tried to storm the bar. Well, this began the whole movement that we know today as Rainbow and Pride and LGBT. All that began there. Well, on that night, all these signs of the goddess appear in New York City. One of the signs of the goddess when she goes to war is the lion. The sign of the lion's head appeared that night. There's something called the dance of Ishtar, that when she goes to battle, she dances. In the middle of the riot, these men start dancing. They perform a dance in the middle of the riot. The goddess always sits and hangs around bars. She calls it her temple. She's always in the bar, the tavern, the inn. She's the god. Well, where did this whole movement began? In a tavern, in an inn, in a bar. One of her writings, it says, you are the stone that breaks the stone wall.
Wow, dude. Yeah, I guess I'm gonna need to dig some more on Jonathan Kahn. Anyway, moving along. We've got okay, these last four clips are oh wait a minute. No, the last three clips are fairly recent. You can see this one's from March 22nd, 2023. Christian Nationalist Jason Rappert or Rapert. Oh, what an unfortunate name. Takes credit for anti-trans law enacted in Arkansas. So you know who to hold accountable. I mean, all you got to do is look. It's not that difficult to get involved.
The NACL has 7 working committees. Those committees actually debate and discuss every major policy issue in this country, all from a biblical worldview. And we make model laws. Do you know that just recently Representative Mary Bentley of Arkansas passed a model law that the NACL adopted at their last meeting in the state of Texas? It actually was brought by one of our school board members, Dr. David Naylor of Conway, Arkansas. He stood up, and this is a medical doctor, and he said students are going to have to use a restroom based upon their birth certificate originally. None of this transgender stuff.
All right, so let me decode that for you. The NACL is the National Association of Christian Leaders. Um, Bathroom Bill 2023. All right, let's. Steve Deese delivers a furiously anti-trans rant. This is 4.5 minutes long. I don't know that we'll get all the way through it. I seriously doubt that we will, because I can barely tolerate these guys. They're so vile, venomous, um, vicious, pernicious.
Is tranny madness needs to be completely eradicated from every social institution and polite conversation in the United States of America, and not just for children, any age, regardless. It cannot happen. The sheer lunacy of this, no human civilization can be civilized and sustain it. Just as we would not suspect to turn on a conversation on CNN about why incest is great and fathers should rape their daughters.
Oh, whoa. Now, see, that was the horrible. That was wow, dude. Um, dude, you don't keep up with Julie Roys and her work, do you? You're not keeping up with the Right Wing Watch, are you? How many J6ers have been rearrested for violating children? How many preachers have been arrested for violating children? Yeah, I didn't figure I was going to get very far into it. 20 seconds of him, and that's all I could handle. All right, so this is from February 26th, 2026. So pretty dadgum recent. And I think I brought this Representative Bob Anders quote before, but let's just roll through it
How
again.
can our listeners and viewers be praying for you?
Well, yes, Tony, this is much as much a spiritual battle as it is a political battle. I can tell you I've been engaged in these sorts of issues for a long time, and I and my family have come under spiritual attack. So yes, please have your viewers pray to guide me and guide my family, to that the hand of God would protect us from the demonic evil that is the transgender cult.
We certainly will.
Okay, we're down to the last clip. This was just from a few days ago. Today is March 26th, 2026, and this clip is from March 19th, 2026, so just a week ago. Mark Meckler says Christian nationalists need to be wait, what? Christian nationalists need to be a lot more intolerant. Okay, let's see, how long is this clip? 2 minutes, 10 seconds. Let's see how much of it we can tolerate. Disclaimers have value.
I think the most important thing that the church has done that's very damaging is we've traded righteousness and truth for empathy and tolerance. And the highest value in most of the churches that I visit now is empathy and tolerance. And it's empathy and tolerance for evil and intolerance. And this is something that I say that's, I think it's become controversial. You probably get letters complaining about this. We have to become a lot less tolerant. We are way too tolerant as a people and a nation. And look, there's biblical precedent for that. They didn't tolerate this kind of behavior in ancient Israel. They didn't tolerate it in Jesus's time.
2,000 years regressive. His mindset is 2,000 years regressive. And empathy and tolerance are bad. Helping other people is bad. They're such an inverted movement. Their whole thought process and their entire worldview is upside down. Anyway, keeping this one relatively short. I'll be dropping a few more of these somewhere along the way until some folks finally get the point as to where this particular madness is coming from within the Christian nationalist movement. It's propaganda, it's brainwashing, it's a world where perceived authority is recognized as authority and therefore not questioned for fear of retribution or shunning, which is an even worse fate for them than getting called out in front of the entire congregation. They can tolerate humiliation. They humiliate themselves in front of their God all the time. Anyway, so there's that. If you hung out to the end, it tells me that you're pretty curious. I appreciate that. So if you haven't already, please, I'd appreciate a sub. Go ahead and give the video a like if you enjoyed it, and share it with somebody that you might think that it will help, or you think it might help. Wow, these cats, they got me all kind of messed up. But anyway, until the next video, take care of yourself so you can help take care of each other. Get the rest you need and track those fluids.